Hi. So for today's practice, it's going to be a nice, well-balanced yoga flow. If you have 2 blocks, a blanket, and a strap for your practice, I highly recommend that, just to make it accessible for everybody else's body. And if you feel inclined to donate to our tip jar at the end, donate whatever you can. It's usually a minimum of 10 to 15, maybe $20. So whatever you can do, we appreciate that.
It keeps us able.
Yeah, it keeps us able to do these Zoom classes for everyone, especially in this trying time. So we'll start laying flat on our back. So go ahead and lay on down. Bring the knees together. We'll start by just bending the knees and let the knees fall into each other. Just a nice little starting point to release the lower back. Take one hand to your heart and one hand to your lower belly. And if you're comfortable, go ahead and close the eyes. If closing the eyes isn't comfortable for you, you can keep a nice steady gaze on the ceiling. And just start to arrive here. Just letting your morning start to fade away. Just becoming really present in your practice this morning. So we're now shifting, just creating a little bit more shift and pulling your awareness inside yourself. Very slowly start to wake up the breath. Breathing in through the nose and gently exhale through the nose, all the air out. Just getting this nice, even rhythm. So when you inhale, feel the lower hand rise. Pull the breath to the top of the chest. And as you exhale, soften the shoulders. Feel the lower abdomen hug in and up. So keep this nice rhythm. Inhale, feel the lower belly, the side ribs, top of the chest. Exhale, let the chest fall and let the lower belly fall. Just getting this nice, even rhythm. We call this samavritti, which means equal churning of the breath. Just nice, smooth inhales through the nose. Nice, long exhales through the nose. The breath is an anchor that will anchor you through your practice today. It's the most important tool we have in yoga and also through life. So do about 5 more rounds. Maybe the breath, you feel it get a little bit fuller. Maybe you can exhale the breath a little bit longer. And if you haven't already, find that Ujjayi pranayama. Little constriction at the back of the throat. Breathing in and out through the nose. So you get that nice ocean sound, that humming sound. So it's audible breath. Good. Release the hands away from the body and then softly blink the eyes open. So just keep a nice steady gaze. Hug both knees into the chest. Take one hand to each shin for Apanasana. And just do some gentle circles on the ceiling with the kneecaps. So go in one direction, just giving your lower back a little massage. And go ahead and take it in the other direction. Maybe rock a little side to side. Anything that feels good. Good. We'll take this into a gentle twist. So keep the knees into the chest, arms out to the side. We'll take a little bump to the left, drop the knees over to the right. So that little bump is just to get the hips to level out and then drop the knees over to the right. So the hips are stacking, and see if you can get the knees to stack as well. And you could keep the gaze toward the ceiling. If you want to take it a little deeper, turn the head and look past your left shoulder. Nice deep breath in. Maybe you want to let this go out the mouth. 2 more deep breaths in. Feel the left shoulder just relax a little more. Good. Inhale, bring the knees back to center. Go ahead and level out the hips. We'll bump the hips over to the right, drop the knees to the left. And if you want to take it further, gaze over the right palm. Reach a little bit more through the right arm so you can feel the right shoulder blade slide down the back. Good. Nice deep breath in through the nose. Open the mouth, let it go. Good, and then come on back to center. Then take a happy baby. So grab the outer edges of the feet, or if you can't quite reach the outer edges of the feet, you can grab behind the knees. Just see if you can get the ankles right above the knees, tailbone on the mat. Yeah, maybe rock side to side. Nice deep breath in. Exhale through the mouth, let it go. Yeah, feel free to make some sound if you want. You're in the comfort of your own home, so you can be okay with making as much sound as you'd like. So we'll bring the knees together, grab around the backs of the knees, and just do some gentle rocks head to tail. Just rolling out the back. Keep the chin tucked in slightly. And then once you get enough momentum, we'll make our way up to a tabletop position. So hands and knees. And allow the fingers to spread comfortably. All 10 toes are pressing on the mat. We'll do a few rounds of cat-cow. Inhale, lift the chest, lift the gaze, arch the back. Exhale, press the floor away from you, round the spine, chin to chest. Inhale, let the movement initiate from the tailbone first. So the tailbone lifts. Exhale, the tailbone rounds, chin to chest. So go with your own breath, connect breath with movement. Inhale as you lift up, exhale as you round in. Do about 3 more cycles. And then at the bottom of your next exhalation, find a neutral spine. So just allow the navel to hug in and up just a little bit. Curl the toes under, take the hips up and back, downward facing dog. We'll just jump right into it. Good, so really press the floor away from you as you move the hips up and back. Let's bend the right knee, descend the left heel down. So really drive that left heel down to the mat. Go ahead and bend the left knee, descend the right heel down. So just slowly pedaling out through the legs. Again, right knee bends, left heel descends, and then go ahead and switch it up. Go back to your Ujjayi breath. Just getting a little bit of movement into the body. Good, we'll come up onto the tippy toes. Stay in downward facing dog and go ahead and bend the knees. So we'll stay here. Think of lifting the hips a little bit higher toward the ceiling. So we get a nice extension of the spine. Then any amount, start to straighten the legs and then descend the heels down. Yeah, and then we'll take 5 cycles of breath here. So think of shifting the weight into the entire circumference of the palm. Good. And then we want to hug the upper arm bones in towards each other and wrap the triceps in. Good. And as if somebody's grabbing the tops of the thighs, think of pulling the tops of the thighs back so you can shift a little more weight into the feet. And if you could see your heels, spin them out just a little bit so you no longer can see them. So we get an internal rotation of the thigh bone. Good. We'll shift forward into a plank pose, top of a push-up. You can always lower the knees down if you want to do a little less today. So plenty of modifications. We'll take 5 cycles of breath. So think of the body moving in 2 directions here. The heels are pressing back. Breastbone is pulling forward. Good. And the abdomen's hugging in and up just a little bit. Keep the gaze right towards the front of the mat. Good. 2 more breaths. Love it. Last one. And then take the hips up and back, downward facing dog. We'll take the pressure off the wrist. So walk the hands back to the feet, or maybe the feet to the hands. Maybe you meet somewhere in the middle. Keep the feet hips distance. Go ahead and bend the knees and just take a forward fold. Shake the head out side to side. And you can bend the knees as much as you need to. Go ahead and interlace the hands behind the back. Bring the palms together. Lift the shoulder heads, and then any amount, maybe start to straighten the arms. Reaching the knuckles toward the sky. And if this isn't working in your body, go ahead and grab a strap or maybe a belt. You can use that to help open the shoulders a little bit more. Again, go ahead and shake out the head side to side. Release any neck tension. One more deep breath in. Maybe this is a mouth exhale. Let it go. Good. Release the clasp of the hands. Ardha Uttanasana. Maybe start to straighten the legs. Hands come to shins, ankles, or maybe in line with the toes. Lift the chest so we have a little flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Uttanasana, let the neck go. 2 more times like this. Inhale, halfway lift. Ardha. Allow the shoulders to draw away from the ears. Exhale, Uttanasana, let it go. Last time, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold on down. Bring the hands to the hips, little bend in the knees, and rise up all the way to the top. Good. Join the feet all the way at the top of the mat. So go ahead and step forward. You can bring the big toes to touch, little tiny bit of space between the heels. Go ahead and join the hands right in your heart center. Roll the shoulders back, stand up nice and tall. Go ahead and close the eyes just for a moment. Now's a good time if you would like to set an intention for your practice today. Go ahead. What are you calling into your life right now? Or maybe it's something you're letting go of that's no longer serving you, that's no longer needed. Going through a lot of changes right now. So what is calling to you in this present moment? Good. Once you have that in place, take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, release the palms, softly blink the eyes open. We'll do a little half sun salutations just to warm up. So go ahead and root into the feet, circle the arms all the way up to the sky. Maybe the palms touch at the top. Exhale, we'll take a forward fold, Uttanasana, let it go. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, lift the chest. Exhale, forward fold again, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise up all the way to the top with a long spine. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Again, inhale, root into the feet, arms rise. Exhale, fold on down, let it go. Inhale, Ardha, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold back down. Inhale, rise up, Utthita Hastasana. Exhale, hands to your heart center. We'll add on this time. Again, inhale, arm circle. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha. Exhale, bend the knees, step back, plank pose. Always an option to lower the knees down. We'll take one chaturanga, so shift the shoulders over the wrists. Exhale, halfway down. And then lower on down to your belly. Nice. Untuck the toes. Low cobra. Inhale. Peel the chest forward and up. Good. Exhale, lower back down. 2 more times. Inhale, press into the feet, lift the chest. Exhale, lower on down. 1 more time. Inhale. Exhale, forehead to the mat. Curl the toes under, lift the kneecaps. You can press to plank pose or all fours. Inhale, exhale, downward facing dog. Nice deep breath in. Open the mouth, let it go. Stay with that Ujjayi breathing. Good. Come up onto the tippy toes, bend the knees, look forward. You can step, or if you're ready to jump, go ahead. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. And then rise up all the way to the top. Hands to your heart center. Again, inhale, arm circle. Little moving meditation, forward fold, let it go. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, plant the palms, step back, plank pose. Shift the shoulders over the wrists, halfway down, chaturanga. And then lower on down to your belly, untuck the toes. Inhale, low cobra. If you want to take it a little higher, maybe start to straighten the arms. Press into the feet, lift the thighs for upward dog. And then exhale, downward dog, hips up and back. Good, 3 cycles of breath here. Bring the feet together, right leg to the sky, lift it up, turn the toes, roll the hip open and drop the heel to the bum. Good. Circle the ankle. Circle it in one way. Go ahead, circle it the other way. Good, and then square off the hips. So bring the toes to point down. Exhale, knee to chest, pause here. Lift the knee a little bit higher. And then step the foot all the way to the front of the mat. Lower the back knee down, Anjaneyasana. Untuck the back toes, low lunge. Lift the arms. So we want to get the ankle or the knee tracked right above the ankle. And think of firming the side hips in to really stabilize the pelvis. Go ahead and grab the left wrist. Think of going up first and then exhale over to the right. Yeah, so we get into that left hip flexor. Good. Other way. Yeah, you got it. Yep. One more deep breath in. Spin the left rib cage back just a little more. Good. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands come down. Charge up the back leg without shifting the hips around too much. How quietly can you step back to plank pose? Good, Kristen. And then more than welcome to take a vinyasa or go straight to down dog. So shoulders above the wrist, halfway down, chaturanga, or to your belly. Inhale for cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now just remember, this is your practice, so feel free to skip the vinyasa. Feel free to take a child's pose at any time. All right, bring the feet together, left leg to the sky. Let's roll the hip open, heel to bum. And go ahead and circle the ankle. Circle it in one direction. And go ahead and use the other way. Good, straighten out the leg, square off the hips. We'll shift forward and then knee to the chest. Maybe the forehead can come a little closer to the knee. Really press the mat away from you. And then very quietly step your foot all the way up to the front of the mat. Lower the back knee down, untuck the toes, Anjane. Lift the arms. Again, really hug the hips in towards each other. And think of lifting the front of the hips here. And then maybe sink the hips down a little bit more. Go ahead and grab the right wrist. Think of going up. Exhale over to the left. Really work to spin the right ribs back. Good. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Charge up the back leg, and then very quietly step back, plank pose. Vinyasa or straight to down dog, which is what I'm gonna do. Slowly and mindfully, halfway down. Inhale for cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Smooth out the breath here. My teacher always used to tell me downward dog becomes a resting pose. And when I was starting yoga, I was like, absolutely not. This is not a resting pose. But it eventually becomes one. So feel free to take a child's pose at any moment. Good. Nice deep breath in. Exhale it out. Good. Come up onto the tippy toes. Bend the knees. Look forward. Step or jump. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. All the way to the top. Circle the arms. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Keep it going. Inhale, circle. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, step, or if you're ready to jump, plant the palms, bend the knees. Think of the chest moving forward. You'll jump back, landing in chaturanga. And then inhale through your back bend of choice. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good, right leg to the sky, lift it up. Turn the toes, heel to bum. Exhale, knee to chest, step forward. Spin the back, heel down. Line up heel to arch, warrior two. Come on up when you're ready. I'll do the other way just to mirror you. So bend generously in that front knee. And go ahead and bend really deeply in that front thigh. So the knees right above the ankle. Spread through the hands. Steady gaze over the front middle fingers. Good. So think of that right hip wrapping under, but then the back thigh bone tends to go a little weak. Can you firm the back leg? Good. Stay with that ujjayi breathing. Can you breathe into the side ribs? Exhale it out. 2 more breaths. Good. Go ahead and straighten that front thigh. Maybe pop the back foot up just a little bit more. We'll move into triangle pose. Reach towards the front of the room, and then your hand can either come to your shin. If you're working with blocks at home, maybe a hand to the block or the floor. Go ahead and spin the left rib cage back, left arm to the sky. Good. So think of shifting a lot of weight into the mound of the front big toe. And then again, that right hip's wrapping under. Think of lengthening. Get a little bit more length in the side waist, the right side waist. That's where props come in handy, and to do a little lengthening of that side waist. Good. And if you want to look up, if it's okay in your neck, look up toward the top palm. Good. 2 more breaths. Last one. Good. Bend the front knee. Come back up. Warrior two. And then windmill the hands back down. Step back plank. Yogi's choice. Vinyasa or down dog. I'm going to take a down dog. So halfway down, chaturanga, or to your belly. Inhale for cobra or up dog. Get the shoulder heads back. And exhale, downward facing dog. Just smooth out the breath here. Take about 3 more cycles. Bring in a little bit of balance. And when you're ready, left leg to the sky, roll the hip open, heel to bum. Exhale, knee to chest, step forward. Spin the back heel down, come up, warrior two, other side. And I'll do this way to make myself even. Go ahead and bend that knee so it's right above the ankle. Gazing over the front middle fingers. We'll be here for about 5 more breaths. So think of wrapping the left hip under, back thighs firming back. Then we want to square the chest to the side of the room. So the rib cage is squared. And then gaze over the front middle finger. 2 more breaths. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. 1 more. Exhale it out. Go ahead and straighten the front leg. If you want to shorten your stance a little bit, sometimes that's nice. Triangle pose, Trikonasana. Think of lengthening the right or the left side waist. Then bring your hand to a block. Maybe your shin, maybe the floor. Right arm to sky. Really feel the spin of the right rib cage back. And then if it's okay, look up towards your top hand. If it's not, go ahead and look down or maybe to the side of the room, which is what I kind of tend to do because looking up feels a lot of neck strengthening, which we don't really need too much because we spend a lot of time on our phones and computers and who knows what. So 2 more cycles of breath. Good, last one. Nice, come back up, warrior two. Go ahead and bend the front knee. Yep, love it. Nice, Doug. And windmill the hands back down. Yogi's choice, take a vinyasa if you want to clear the energy or straight to downward dog. Slowly and mindfully, chaturanga. Inhale through up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Nice deep breath in. Open the mouth, let it go. Good, come up onto the tippy toes, bend the knees, look forward, step or jump. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, Uttanasana. Chair pose, Utkatasana. Drop the hips, lift the arms. So shift a little more weight into the heels. So the shin bones shift back. Try to get a little more space in between the hips and the thighs. So see if you can lift the hip points. Nice. 1 more breath. Sink a little lower. Love it. Root to rise. Straighten the legs. Hands to your heart center. We'll bring the hands to the hips. Come into a tree pose. Right leg lifted up. Revolve it out to the side. And you can place the ankle or the foot next to the ankle, maybe on the calf, or if you want to take it up on the inner thigh of the left leg, you can. We just don't want it on the knee joint. And if you need to go to a wall for a little balance and more stability, go to a wall. Perfect. Oh yeah, or a chair. You can grab a chair. Get the hip points to square to the front of the room. Hands to your heart center. Find a drishti, find a little focal point, something that's not moving, that you can really harness in. Take about 5 breaths. Feel that left hip pulling in and up for a little bit more stability. Good. If you want to grow your tree, maybe arms come out like giant branches. If you want to take Jnana Mudra, maybe thumb and index come together. Bending the elbows. Maybe lift the chest. If you want to challenge, lift the gaze. 2 more breaths. And if you come on out, just come back. That's part of life. And then go ahead and join the hands into the center of the heart. Knee to chest. And then lower it back down. Nice. Shake it out. We'll do the other side. So hands to the hips, left knee lifted on up, revolve it out to the side and choose your modification. Next to the ankle, on the calf, or all the way up on the inner thigh, just not on the kneecap. Square the hip points. Sometimes it's easy for that leg to veer off. See if you could get the hip points to square. Lovely. Join the hands to the center of the heart. Really feel that right hip firming in and up. Good. Find your drishti. 5 breaths. Love the focus. If you want to grow your tree, maybe arms come up to the sky like giant branches. You want to take that mudra representing wholeness, completeness, oneness. Thumb and index come together, bend the elbows. Maybe lift the gaze. Beautiful. Hands to your heart center. Lift the knee and lower it on down. Shake it out. Good. And bring the feet together. Chair pose. Here we go. Utkatasana. Sink the hips. Lift the arms. Forward fold. Uttanasana. Let it go. Inhale. Lift and lengthen. Ardha. Exhale. Plant the palms. Step or jump back. Take a vinyasa or straight to down dog. Without lifting the leg, right foot, step it up. Spin the back heel down. Line up your heels. Warrior 1. Come all the way up. Warrior 1. Little different. Heel to heel alignment this time. We want to work the hips to square. So think of the right hip pulling back, left hip moving forward. Good. Really climb up the side waist. Maybe look up, seal the palms. Hands come to your heart center. We'll open it up to warrior 2. Heel toe the right foot over a couple inches to the left and then open up warrior 2. So heel to arch alignment. Good. Go ahead and reverse the warrior. Top hand up, back hand down the back thigh. Come back up, warrior 2. Straighten out the front leg, hands to hips, parallel the feet. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, take a forward fold, hands come underneath the shoulders. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, walk the hands back so they're in line with the feet. Just letting the crown of the head descend down. Make sure the feet are parallel. Yep. A little cooling forward fold. Take about 3 more deep breaths. See if you can lift the shoulders up away from the ears just a little bit more. Good. Walk the hands back underneath the shoulders and then all the way to the front of the mat. Step back, plank pose. Yogi's choice, vinyasa if you want to up it up, or downward dog. Almost done with this warm-up portion of practice. Last couple standing poses, I promise. And then without lifting the legs, step the left foot to the front of the mat, back heel down, line up your heels, come up, warrior 1. And then again, trying to square the hips. They'll never get there, but think of the left hip pulling back, and there's a broadening. Think of a spinning of the right inner thigh to the side of the room. Good. Navel hugs in and up just a little bit. If you want to seal the pose, look up, touch the palms. Good. Hands to your heart center. We'll open it up, warrior 2. Heel toe the left foot over to the right, and then open it up. Warrior two, just for a breath. Go ahead and reverse. Turn the top palm. And inhale, come on back, warrior two. Straighten the front leg, hands to hips, parallel the feet. Bring the hands behind the back, so interlace them. Roll the shoulders back. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, forward fold. Little shoulder opener, forward fold. Feel free to grab a strap if you need to. Yeah, move around if you want. Shift a little bit more weight into the balls of the feet so the hips stay right above the ankles while you're moving around, shaking it out. Release any neck tension. One more deep breath in. Long exhale out. Good. Release the clasp of the hands. Lift the chest. And then go ahead and heel toe the feet back to meet each other. And then we'll take a squat. So squat on down. Let the toes spin out just a little bit. Knees, or press the elbows into the knees, lift the chest. If you have any blocks, now's a good time to sit up on some blocks. Or not. Or not. This is great for the hips. A lot of people, the indigenous populations, used to eat like this. They used to eat, they used to visit. So we should be doing this every day. 2 more breaths. Feel free to close the eyes. Good. Now go ahead and sit on down. And we'll get into the core a little bit. So find your boat pose, Navasana. We'll bend the knees just to start. So go ahead and let the shins be parallel to the mat. Take the arms out to the side. If you need a little bit more assistance, hands can stay right on the mat or maybe grab the backs of your knees. Think of lifting the top of the chest. And if you want a little bit more challenge, maybe start to straighten the legs. It's not necessary though. You can keep the knees bent. Good. If shaking's going on, that's a good thing. We're building a lot of strength in the transverse abdominis. 2 more breaths. Good. Slowly, slowly, as slow as you can, lower all the way down. Nice. Take one hand to belly, one hand to heart. Just give yourself a little bit of love. Just notice any shifts going on. Notice any resistant thought patterns that might be happening. Good. We'll go ahead and do a couple bridge poses. So go ahead and bend the knees. Bring the feet about hips distance. Take the arms alongside the hips and grab the outer edge of the mat. We'll just grab the outer edge of the mat just on this one. So press into the heels, lift the hips high. Think of pulling the mat towards the front of the room and then start to roll the shoulders underneath. So we want to roll the shoulders as much as we can under. Feel free to keep grabbing the sides of the mat. If you want to do an interlace the hands if that's available to you underneath the back. And then just go ahead and, if you're interlacing, reinstill the shoulders rolling under. Smooth out the breath. Two more breaths. And then exhale, lower the hips. Release the interlace if you have it. And then just take a moment. Good, we'll do it again. Grab the outer edge of the mat. Think of pulling the mat away from you as you lift the hips up. Then go ahead and roll the shoulders underneath. If you have an interlace that's available, interlace the hands the other way, so other thumbs on top. So we just even it out. 5 breaths. Think of the tailbone lengthening towards the back of the heels. Good. 2 more breaths. And then slowly release the clasp, lower the hips down. Take the feet as wide as the outer edge of the mat. Drop the knees side to side. So just a little windshield wiper to counter our bridge pose. Good, and you can either roll to one side and press yourself up, or rock yourself up to a seated position. So feel free to grab a blanket if you want to elevate the sit bones just a little bit. A good way to indicate is if there's any rounding going on in the lower back, it's nice to sit up. And go ahead and take the feet straight out in front of you. We'll go into Janu Shavasana. So bend the right knee, revolve it out to the side. So the right foot is on the left inner thigh. Inhale, lift the arms to the sky. Twist towards the left leg and then start to hinge forward and forward fold. Maybe you can catch a hold of the outer edge of the feet. If you have a strap or a belt, go ahead and grab that. Or if you're not working with props, maybe you grab your shin or ankle. So we'll just lengthen the spine one more time. Inhale, think of lifting the chest. Exhale, forward fold. A little bit or a lot. So cooling down now. It's nice to make your exhalations a little bit longer than your inhalations. It's really interesting the moment we start to slow down our bodies, the faster our minds sometimes speed up. So if you're worried about groceries or what you're going to do today, see if you can just come back to your breath and just focus on this present moment right now. Good, very slowly walk the hands into the chest, grab underneath the right knee and help the knee back up, straighten out the legs. Yeah, shake it out. Thank your body. And then we'll do the other side. So left leg into the chest, revolve it out to the side, place the sole of the foot on the right inner thigh. Inhale, arms to sky. Twist towards the right leg and then fold on down. Grab your strap. Maybe the outer edges of the foot. Inhale, we'll lift and lengthen the chest. Exhale, keep a nice long spine and then start to fold on down. Feel free to close the eyes. Just take your awareness inside. Nice smooth inhalations, nice long exhales. Very good. With a nice long spine, walk the hands in and then help the knee back to center. Straighten out the legs. Give it a nice shake. Maybe pedal out or hit your legs. Good, we'll go into Baddha Konasana, so bring the soles of the feet together. If you have any knee discomfort, it's nice to take some blocks, maybe under the knees. And find your sit bones, root the sit bones down, sit up nice and tall. And then if it's available to you, start to hinge forward, come in and do a hip opener. Maybe the elbows come towards the knees, just weighing them down a little bit. With every inhalation, think of pulling the chest forward. Every exhale, maybe fold down an inch more. Good, slowly come on up. Grab underneath the knees and help the knees to center. Bend the knees, take the arms out in front of you. Hug the navel back just a little bit and then very slowly, slowly roll on down. Nice. And then we're going to thread the needle. So right ankle over the left knee. Lift the knees into the chest. Then take the right arm, thread it through. Catch a hold of the behind the left knee. Or if you can make it, grab a hold of the left shin. Flex the right toes. And just use the breath to send the breath to that right outer hip. Yeah, maybe hum it out. Slowly let that go. Bring the feet back to center. We'll do the other side. Left ankle, cross it over the right knee. Lift the knees into the chest. Go ahead and thread your arm through, grabbing behind the right knee or right shin. Flex the left toes. Go ahead and take 5 cycles of breath. Just notice one side is usually different, so just take a little mental note. And for those of you at home, maybe you want to hang out on the tighter side, just a few breaths longer. And then slowly release it down. Both feet on the mat. We'll hug both knees into the chest. Keep the right knee in, extend the left leg out. We'll take it into a twist. Left hand to right knee, right arm out to the side, cut it across the body for a twist. Good, come on back to center. Left knee into the chest, right leg extends, and then twist it over. Left arm out to the side. And if you want, gaze over the left hand. Slowly come on back to center, both knees into the chest. Final happy baby. Grab the outer edges of the feet or behind the knees. Maybe rock a little side to side. If you want to open up the legs, take your 2 peace fingers, hook a hold of your big toes, maybe straighten the legs. Nice deep breath in. Open the mouth, let it go. Good. Bring the knees into the chest. Wrap your hands around the shins. Curl up in a tight little ball. Forehead to knee. Give yourself a little squeeze. Take a nice deep breath in. Squeeze a little bit more. And then exhale, release into Shavasana. Make sure you don't skip Shavasana. This is the most important pose. So get as comfortable as you can. Let the feet drop open, arms spin out to the sides. If you have any props in your way, just move them out of the way. Go ahead and close the eyes. Let go of any controlled breathing you might still be hanging on to. Just fully surrender here in this last final pose. Releasing, relaxing, and letting go. If you notice the mind wandering, just gently bring it back. Focus on the breath. Almost like clouds passing by. If a thought comes, just let it float away. Very gradually start to deepen your breath again. Bring a little bit of movement back into your fingers, your toes. If you want to give yourself a final stretch, maybe reach your arms up and overhead. Extend the legs straight out, full body stretch. And taking as much time as you need to, bring the knees into the chest. Slowly roll off to one side. And keeping the eyes closed if you're comfortable, press yourself up to any comfortable seat. I like to finish with a little seated meditation, just a close out practice. Let the hands can rest down on the tops of the thighs for a little bit more grounding, or if you want to spin them up for a little bit more receptive energy, feel free to do that. Just taking a little brief moment in a seated meditation, just to notice how you feel. Notice any shifts that happened. Keeping the eyes closed, go ahead and sweep the arms up and overhead, just gathering up all that beautiful energy around you. Seal the palms and then pull that right down into your heart center. Lower the mind down. And I'll leave you with these words to close out practice. Just acknowledge your own inner teacher, your own divinity. May we all be at peace. May our hearts remain open. May we know the beauty of our own true nature. May we be healed and a source of healing in this world. Namaste, everyone. Thank you so much for a beautiful practice, for your hard work. Feel free to donate to the tip jar, whatever you can, 15, 20, anything. If you need or need a props, I know Kristen's selling props for a very, very good price.